All right. So bad governing. All right. So there are many forms of bad governing. What was good today might not be good tomorrow. Pretty sure you've heard me say that plenty of times here. So, what leads to bad governing? All right. So, what leads to bad governing? All of the above. All of the above. Assumptions, ideology, angered moments. These all lead to bad governing. Now, angered moments. Okay. And so, for an example, um, when we were attacked in Pearl Harbor, right, by I believe the Japanese, there was an assumption that all Japanese people, were considered spies and enemies, and what occurred was we began to stuff concentration camps. Okay, that was kind of like an angered moment there. All right, we were upset at the Japanese population that they came and they infiltrated. So we took innocent people because not everyone is a spy for Japan. Okay, they might have family in Japan, and they might communicate with you know the Japanese Empire, the homeland Japan, but not all Japanese citizens or Asian descendants should have been um, placed in concentration camps. Right now, let's go here. Right? Or angered moments, another angered moment. Previously, after 9/11, what occurred? Everyone was upset um, that the terrorist group had attacked the World Trade Center. Right? We quickly um, took an opportunity to to infiltrate the Middle East. And that was kind of like an angered moment. It was like, hey, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna remove all the terrorists, but it's been 10, 15 years, or it's been 20 years, basically. No, let's see, yeah, we're gonna go on 20 years, and all we did was probably create more terrorists over there. So angered moments, ideology. All right, let's go ahead and give you an example where um colonization, right? So back in the 1800s, 1700s, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, these superpowers were beginning to form empires, right? Even in the late 1800s, where Germany, began um, when these kingdoms or these little well, we'll say these little estates and these little kingdoms, they formed, the massive empire of Germany, right? They were all united, right? So basically, right, um, this idea where more people, more soldier, bigger empire, more power. Okay, so that's an ideology, right? And everyone else will fear us. Okay, so um, let's go back to the English Empire. I'm sorry, not the English Empire. The Spanish Empire, right? So Spain, they conquered much of South America. All right, they even went as further as far north as I believe California, what is now known as Washington. Okay, during the 1800s and the 1700s, the Spanish Empire was considered the strongest. They had the most territory. They had everything. No one would dare attempt to um, go to war with the Spanish Empire, right? And so one day, the king, the Spaniard king, went ahead and decided, hey, listen, I'm going to send the Spanish Armada to homeland England, and we're going to infiltrate there, right? Now, the ideology, right? Britain's ideology was to never engage into warfare with the Spanish Empire because they were considered the largest, the biggest at the moment, right? So what happens? Well, the Spanish Armada fails. Homeland England maintains its sovereignty, and they basically defeated uh, the Spanish Empire. Okay, they won that battle. Okay, not only did they win that battle, but they kind of broke this ideology where it was like, hey, look, these people are the strongest, but meanwhile we are able to maintain. But we just defeated them in battle. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. The king, or the crown, to be more specific, the crown stated, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to North America and we're going to begin to colonize North America. So they kind of broke off of the previous ideology that, just because you're the biggest and the baddest, you have the most resources and the biggest population, this does not mean that you are capable of doing whatever you want. All right. Now assumptions. All right. Now assuming that people have weapons of mass destruction. Okay. Yeah. There was an assumption earlier on that I believe it was who was it? I want to say Afghanistan. Oh well, so there was a Middle Eastern country. I'm pretty sure it's Afghanistan. Oh no, no, no. I'm sorry, Iraq. Um, so there was an assumption, right, that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction because their leaders keep, you know, discussing, hey, we have weapons of mass destruction, and so there was an assumption that Iraq was attempting to use weapons of mass destruction. At the end, infiltrated Iraq. There was no weapons of mass destruction. All they did was bluff, and one thing that came out of it was that that the governing elites of Iraq wanted to bluff to Iran because they saw Iran as a threat. They're right there. They're neighbors. So they wanted to go ahead and say, hey, listen, we have weapons of mass destruction. We can, yeah, we'll get you. But at the end, all they did was bluff, and it was it led to bad governing. Okay.